Miami Beach approves an ordinance to say gay in high school despite county school board vote. Queer News Tonight has reported previously on the vote by Miami-Dade School Board to ban teaching LGBTQ+ history topics in high school for LGBTQ+ History Month. The topics proposed were various landmark Supreme Court cases that have allowed for LGBTQ+ rights, including Obergefell, which brought marriage equality. The topics were intended to only be taught to high school seniors. Last week, a resolution created by Queer News Tonight anchor Paul Thomas and Miami Beach Vice Mayor Alex Fernandez was proposed to the city of Miami Beach to overturn the county guidance and continue to teach these topics in high schools within the city of Miami Beach. All members of the City Commission voted to advance the resolution with the exception of Commissioner Stephen Minor. Earlier today, Mayor Dan Gelber signed the resolution approving local high school student seniors be taught about LGBTQ+ History Month.
So, Vice Mayor Fernandez, thank you very much for this resolution. I'm very, very honored to be part of it. But do you want to tell us a little bit about the resolution that was just signed by the mayor and our objectives with this?
Absolutely. We need to express disappointment at the lack of action of our Miami-Dade County School Board to say that they're not celebrating LGBTQ History Month. When we celebrate Women's History Month, when we celebrate Black History Month, when we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, it really sends a bad message. And it's an alarming bellwether to the anti-LGBT rhetoric that we hear in our society. So what we're doing here is that we're sending now the conversation to the parents, and we're empowering students to pass their own resolutions, the student bodies, the student organizations.
Right.
Let them have conversations there. And so the funny thing here is that the school board thought that they were quashing a discussion, and what we're doing is, no, we're making the discussion bigger by now sending it to the schools and giving the students a sample resolution that they can adopt as their own.
Fantastic. I have to say, for me to live in a city like Miami Beach that is out in front and saying this is not acceptable, we're not going to let anyone harm our students, and to be so proactive. You were texting me on the weekend. The vote was Friday night. Saturday morning I was getting a text from you. I appreciate it so much.
And
Thank you very much.
I appreciate your leadership, and we have a big responsibility in our hands to protect this community as a welcoming, accepting oasis and being the most progressive city in the state when it comes to LGBTQIA+ rights.
I agree. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know, I love seeing this video, and in fact, Paul was supposed to be on the show tonight. He was at the signing of this resolution earlier today. So we are happy to pick up the story from you and tell it tonight. So thank you so much for your work, Paul. This is going to be fodder for DeSantis and his minions, though. They're going to be able to come back and say, look, this city is going rogue and going right against it. But they're really standing up, I think, for this next generation of kids, because that's who we're abandoning if we don't stand up for them. And you work for safe schools or with safe schools. I mean, you know this mission much better than I.
I am so proud of Miami Beach right now for standing up. Hopefully that will domino effect into other areas where people, you know, students, our kids are so amazing. They're very different from our generation and generations before. I have a lot of faith that our kids are going to stand up and do the right thing. And I think Miami Beach did the right thing today. And I'm really, really happy about today.
Where does this take us going forward then? Or Bob, I'm sorry, you had a comment?
No. You know what? This is really important. And I agree with Francesca, and I can't help but think how many kids got saved simply because Miami Beach took a stand and said, no way, this is not right. Because, you know, gay teen suicide, let me be specific, gay teen suicide is still an issue. And, you know, I was talking with Francesca before the broadcast. If I had had this in my day when I was coming up, I might not have had to spend thousands of dollars on therapy that I needed to spend just to get my head on straight. So yeah, I hope it comes to Broward really soon.
I think this is also going to help the gay-straight alliances in Miami Beach and in other areas in Dade and Broward and throughout Florida. So again, kudos to Miami Beach.
Yes,
Rocked it.
and let's just, we'll continue to follow this because I'm sure DeSantis will probably send down one of his minions like he always does. And the opposition, the people who say, we're not even saying teach gay things. We're saying teach the history. Teach the history. And they punch down to the kids. They punch down on the communities that try and support the kids, and they try and silence them and hoping they'll stay silent. You know what? In a time and a legacy of social and online media, they're not going to stay silent. They know how to talk to each other from thousands of miles away or just across the street. So I look forward to seeing how this plays out in Miami Beach.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.